Hi and welcome. My name is Melody and this is episode 8 of the Melody Crochet Podcast. Here I talk about knitting, crocheting, and other crafts as they apply. I come to you from Texas, where we are having very erratic weather this summer. Today is July 24th. It's Monday morning, and what a great way to start the week. I'm so excited to be back. I really missed last week. My little one had his 8th birthday and the schedule just went haywire. But I'm back, and if you are new, welcome. Please consider visiting me at my social media. All the links are below. We also have a Melody Crochet Ravelry group. If you'd like to come and visit with us, that's where I do show notes and information, and we talk about the recent knit-alongs and any giveaways. Also, if you're returning, thank you so much. Please consider subscribing, and then you'll be notified of any future videos. I am having tea today, and my brand new IKEA mug. One of our little visits this week was to IKEA. Or well, not this week. My gosh, it was last week. Where has the time gone, guys? I missed this. But I love this. It's all abstract, and there's no handle. It's so different. And inside is Twining's Spicy Chai. I add a little milk to it. And I get this from the UK. I don't think it's available in the US. I order a big old box of tea from the UK every now and again. And just get all the different stuff that you can't get here. Because I love it. Anything from other places. And it's really good. I might get a whole box of that, because you can get boxes. I get several boxes of what I like, and then I get just a big Mod Podge of 1 and 2s of different ones that I'm not familiar with, and it's awesome. Let's see, any other welcoming stuff? Oh, I should say blabber for the end. I know it's best to just get into the yarn, right? I have a few finished objects. I had a lot of time to knit and crochet. There was a lot of car knitting, car crochet, and just time to kind of like have something in my hands while we're doing other things. We had a lot of arcade visits. And here is, even though it doesn't look much bigger at all than last time I filmed, because I decided to go with a shawlette length. This is my blur. It's a shawl by the Addie Day Designs, who has some amazing crochet designs. This is crocheted. Mine is on a G hook. She suggested a 4.5mm that I didn't have at the time. Mind you, I have a lot of hooks. Like right there, that's all hooks. For some reason, 4.5mm isn't a letter in the US, so I just never got one. We do sell them though. I ordered mine on Amazon, then went to Joann's and promptly found out there was one in each of 2 different brands. So I just didn't collect one. Mind blown, guys. Mind blown. But I have mine now, and I have a feeling I'll have more. So this was supposed to be a 4.5mm hook, and I went with a smaller hook, the 4.25, the G. And it's on fingering weight yarn, and this is kind of your crochet your fade, how everybody's doing the find your fade knitted shawl, which I didn't do because that looked like a commitment and a really large item, because I have I'm not super tall, I'm not super short, but I'm not super tall, and something that big, I don't know if I could hold that. And anything that requires a couple, there's more than one video of how to wear your crochet your fade or find your fade shawl. I don't know. That sounds complicated, am I right? I mean, that's some serious time and investment for a bunch of yarn, a bunch of knitting, and then maybe not be able to wear it right? No way, but maybe someday. Because I do love them. Oh my goodness. I saw a gray to purple fade the other day. Purple is my color. I saw a gray to purple fade, and it was gorgeous. I just love them all. And from a distance, they're beautiful, and people wear them beautifully. I just know that I would end up just kind of like, you know, no biggie though. Maybe someday. But for now, this was my fade. I crocheted my fade. and I love it. I was gonna she suggested 2 more colors after this, and it would make a gorgeous shawl. But with colors this bright, I knew that anything bigger was not gonna get a bunch of wear from me. If I had one in grays or chocolate brown or deeper tones, I could see it happening. Maybe gem tones, like going from one gem tone to the next. I would wear that out the door, left and right. But with bright, bright colors like this, I figured it's best, and the husband confirmed. He's like, yeah, you'll get more wear out of that if you stop now. So together we decided it was time to fasten off. And I did, and I love it. And it's been sitting here. I finished this, like I said, I only put maybe 2 rows on this after I last talked to you guys. And then I blocked it, which took no time at all because it's so toasty here. And I couldn't wear it. I wanted to share it with you guys. So it's been sitting on my desk, waiting to be worn. The odds are very good it will be kerchief style most of the time. And I love it. And added bonus, since I took part in the crochet along on the Addie Day Designs Ravelry group, she gave me a free pattern. I was so excited. I got her adult skirt pattern. I'm gonna try it, guys. I'm gonna try it. I think it was a DK weight. Not sure. And I'm not sure what yarn I'm going to use. And it looks like it would be a time investment. So I'm thinking one of those situations where you do like 1 inch or 2 inches every day. Just kind of like crochet homework. I have a few things like that where I just have my homework that I do a certain tiny amount every day, and then eventually it gets done. It's the best. So this is my finished object. You might notice it looks like I put some picot edges on there. I didn't. I just have pins instead of blocking cables. I need to get some cables so I can have round edges. But hey, a little mock picot never killed anybody, right? I love it. So, oh, the yarn. Hello. This is all my yarn. I dyed all this yarn myself. I love dyeing super bright colors. And I started with this. I dyed this forever ago. So when I started the shawl, I grabbed that. And this has, even though you can't really tell, maybe a little bit, like there's one. This has a lot of green speckles that matches. And then also in there is some yellow speckle. So I had to have yellow yarn. Then I had some turquoise that I dyed up when I dyed the yellow. I hadn't planned to put it in here, but it matched the blue speckles so well. I just went for it. The next color was going to be magenta and purple. A lot. Well, basically the same magenta and purple as these two. But like I said, no, I'm pretty happy with it the way it is. I might make another one. And if I do, I'll use more. I'm not sure. It's beautiful. I love it. And not muted tones. I don't like my colors murky or muted. Just deeper tones, I think. Something more wearable for me. I wear a lot of like dark teals, dark purples, and these are super bright. Great for summer though. So, I have another finished object. It's my beach bag. Okay. Oh my gosh. Pom-poms. I love it. This is the beach bag pattern from Zines and Roger. Rosina has her own podcast too. If you get a chance, go check her out. She's amazing. And very informative, actually. She said she wasn't very informative at some point, and I think she's very informative. I've learned a lot from your podcast. So, but I made this about 4 rows shorter than it called for, because much like the blur shawl, I like things a little bit shorter. It's a bit more manageable for me. But I did do the full length on the handles because I do like it when something sits at my hip as opposed to having a bag that comes up into my armpit. It's personal preference. And I would not let myself make these pom-poms until I finished the entire bag. So I had to put in the work. This is on a G-hook also. Also recommended a 4.5 millimeter that I did not have at the time. No biggie, right? And these pom-poms are 2 sizes, even though it's hard to tell. That one is smaller than that one. And I used a Karen cake in fairy cake color. I used 2 of them. All I have left after it is this. So this is going to be good just in case I need to repair it, or in case I just feel the urge to have more pom-poms. It could happen. So I go ahead and use a clover. I used large and extra large pom-pom maker, and I tie my pom-poms with mercerized cotton all the time because it is much stronger, in my opinion, than acrylic yarn, and it holds it together really well, and my knots don't loosen because acrylic yarn has a little stretch to it and mercerized cotton does not. So it's great for pom-pomming. I just wrap to my heart's content on my clover pom-pom maker, which I could not figure out how to use at all until I was at Stitches, Texas, which is coming up again in September. All the yarn stuff's coming. I'll talk to you guys about it in a minute. But I was over at Stitches last year and I saw in person, even the videos didn't work to teach me how to use a pom-pom maker. But in person, she showed it to me and boom, simplest thing in the world. Up until then, I used some cardboard pieces that I cut together out of a cereal box. I learned how to do that on Pinterest. It worked like a charm. This just has a little bit more uniform round pom-poms from the clover maker. That one came out a little bit more oval. There was a little bit more trimming involved, which is fine. Just a little messy, I don't mind. So clover pom-pom maker, tied off with mercerized cotton, and I used nice long tails on those and just tied them together first and then onto the bag. It will be lined eventually, not yet though, because I finished this, gosh, over a week ago. Had to sit here and wait to meet you guys though. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to use it. Does it match this? Does it match this? It's close enough. I know what I'm using today. We don't really have much to do after this. It was a very busy weekend. And house is clean. I'm not sure what we'll go do. But whatever we're going to do, my pom-poms are going to be there for me. So, thank you, Rosina, for an amazing pattern. She made it for the Hobbycraft website. So, if you search Beach Bag by Zines and Roger on Ravelry, it's a free pattern and will link you to the Hobbycraft website where they have the pattern. And it's awesome. She mentioned on her podcast that she would have probably, if she wasn't looking to make something out of Karen cakes, used cotton. I concur. I had 2 cakes of Karen cakes, 2 Karen cakes in my stash for quite a while. I love the color. I loved hers. So, hey, honey. And I went with it. But cotton would, like I mentioned about the mercerized, would have less stretch. Might not even need to be lined, depending on your beach bag needs. And I don't know, maybe I'll make another. It's an awesome bag. And I've never made a cotton pom-pom. Have you guys? I don't think I ever have. I have no idea if the ends would fray, if that would look awesome or not. I have no idea, but not a bad idea. I at least need to make a cotton pom-pom. So, second finished object, and I'm in love. Seriously, love this. Can you imagine how much yarn this could hold? We have the yarn crawl coming up at the end of next month, and then after that, Stitches, Texas. So I have a yarn bag. I love it. this is officially my yarn festival bag. Thank you, Rosina. And I love pom-poms. Thank you, Clover pom-pom maker. And my flip-flop socks. They're hiding. There they are. They're still a little soggy. Don't mind them. So they're actually brighter than they appear. But I finished these last night. And this is out of Kobasi, which means cotton, bamboo, silk. And it also has some stretchy nylon in there, so elastic nylon. And they are flip-flop socks, so the toes stick out. And they have a cool pattern on them. I really like it. It's like a mock cable. I used size 1 40-inch cable, made these 2 at a time on an Addy Turbo sock rocket, and that was a size 1. The yarn is fingering weight, and they had an afterthought heel. So I took out the line, it was a provisional line, and then I put in the heel afterward, and I really like them. They're very comfy. The funny thing is how little yarn they took. They fit. They're the right size. The only thing they're lacking from a regular, well, I guess I do on my shorty socks, I only use about 40 grams. So I guess it makes more sense than I'm thinking. I started out with 150 grams of yarn, so having a lot left actually makes more sense than I was thinking, because it just seemed I could probably make 4 more pairs. I should just give it away, because I don't think I'm going to want 4 pairs of socks that look like each other. But there's my other one. I love the way the yarn pooled. I love the way the yarn felt. At first I did not. I also encountered a knot that made me so angry. It was 2 knots within 11 inches of each other. But somebody told me, hey, just cut both knots out and make a nice knot. And I did. You can hardly tell. Where's the knot? It's on the bottom of the foot even. I know it was purple. See, can't even see it now. I was all upset and you can't even see it now. Isn't that how life is? I literally can't see it now that I blocked it. So, but it upset me at the time. It was a 2x2 rib, which I don't love. I like a 1x1 rib, but I followed the pattern, and that's okay. Plus they're really low on my ankle. The pattern actually wanted me to do twice as many up my leg, but that was not a look I was going for. If I'm wearing flip-flop socks already, I'm already wearing flip-flop socks. I don't think I need them climbing up my calf. You know, we're making a statement. We don't need to shout too loudly with that statement all the time. So but I love them. They're very cute. And Kobasi is very interesting. It's that bamboo, cotton, and silk is so interesting. You can see the little line in there from the nylon, and where the colors blend together, I have all this yarn left. I use hardly any. I have 73 grams of this left, which means I used less than 30 grams, and I have 37 grams of this left, which means unless it was a really generous ball, I used maybe 13 grams of this for heels, toes, and cuffs. So it's a lot of leftover yarn. And I put back my little flip-flop heel marker. Oh, it's so cute. I'm gonna have to do something else with that. I like flip-flops a lot. I have shown you all of my finished objects for now, which I'm pretty pleased with. That was kind of a lot. And on to my hose. I have one hoe, and it's soggy too. She's blocking. She's still a little soggy. I save the string at both ends until it's completely dry, because wool is funny like that, and you do not want to be short on your wool. So I will wait a couple days. I might wait a couple wears before it's already sewn in the top and the bottom. I've weaved in my ends like crazy, but I leave the others hanging out until I've worn it a few times, because if it stretches and needs more yarn, I want to have it. This is my Jinx yarn in Fireflies. This is a vanilla sock with an afterthought heel, and I used Serenity sock in purple. I made this on my Chalgu 9" in size 0. And here's the rest of the yarn, which I have about 70 grams left. Not too shabby. I already took my 3 grams out for my blanket, so I have a lot. I'm gonna have quite a bit left. I don't have a problem with that. It's super pretty. So there she is. Isn't that pretty? I love it. There's my toe. Excuse my string. These were toe up, which is my preferred method, and I'm learning more and more. I just prefer toe up socks and not afterthought heels. They're okay. It's fun for something different. And there was a afterthought heel along, so I took part. But I love a heel and gusset. I love a heel flap. I love all the different heel flaps that you can use. And that's where she lays. So pretty. And it fits really, really, really well. You wouldn't guess. I don't know what's up with that. Usually socks on this form fit me really well. Maybe it's bigger than I'm thinking and it just fits. I don't know why. But size 0 is my preferred size. So now I get to start the next one. But before I do, my hoe from last time, come on out, for my son, my older son, is here. I haven't blocked it yet. I don't have a blocker. He's a size 14. So I'm probably not going to block these. I'll just get them soggy, put him on his feet, and tell him not to go anywhere. So it's my Made with Love charm, because I love him, apparently, because I made him a sock, size 14. And these are stripey. I need to put these in the stripe-alongs. And here is, whew, a hot mess is what this is. There we go. That's the rest of my yarn. And do I have my tag in here? Yes, I do. It's sport weight, thank goodness. It made it much faster. I made that sock in under a week. Regia 6 fatigue, which I believe means 6 ply, so 6 ply color in Regia. It is there any nylon in there? I bet there is. Virgin wool, 75%, and polyamide, so nylon, 25%. And I don't know if I've ever gone into this on the podcast. I'm addicted to any German sock yarn. It feels amazing. It is not like the slinky, soft, squishy sock yarn that we always talk about, like the hand-dyed stuff. This stuff is rustic feeling. It feels like wool. It is so wonderful, and they wash up beautifully. They last so long, and oh my goodness. I think it was Holland Handmade that first mentioned how awesome German sock yarn is, because if you just walk by it, it feels a little scratchy, but it's so nice. If you like wool and you like sheep and you like yarn, it's got a quality to it that cannot be described when you're actually knitting with it. It even smells good. But this is my next sock. So I don't tend to make my socks in a row. I tend to, like this, I'm staggering it. I made this sock, which is my first, so it's my hoe. And last time I made this hoe. And then I moved on to finish this sock. And now I'll finish my son's pair. And I also got my Christmas in July yarn. and opal, also German, also amazing and squishy and scratchy and wonderful. Oh my gosh, scratchy's not the word, it's just rustic. It feels like you're petting a sheep. I think that's what I like about it, and I'm addicted. I love it. You can hear my dog snoring just a little bit over there. That's not Hunter. Pickles is hiding just to the left of Hunter. So this isn't technically supposed to be Christmas yarn, but it's red and green, and it's perfect because this is Christmas in July. So we have a summery aspect. We have peppers. It's garden yarn, and this is called Fresh Juicy, and let's see, it was $18, made in Germany. Where's your ingredients? Yep, same thing. 75 wool, 25 polyamide, and amazing. So I'm going to start these because I like to have a couple socks sitting all over the place. So these will probably sit by my computer, and these will go in the car. I'm dropping DPNs all over my leg right now. But that's a little sock baby. I'm doing a 1x1 through the back loops rib. I'm working from the top down, and I think I might have misspoken. This is my preferred method of knit. Did I say from the toe up? I like knitting from the top down. And with these, I knit from the toe up. And I greatly prefer it the other way around. Not sure where I went with that, but I love it. And they went up so fast. And I'm not a perfectionist by any means. I do like to have around the same number of stripes. I'm not particularly picky, but I am starting in the same place on the yarn. I took a little out, which was the perfect amount to put in my blanket. And I'll just stop after the light gray, start the straight. After, I remember I had to do a little bit of yarn surgery to make this smooth. Otherwise it would have been too small. I think I added some extra of this or something, or some of this. We'll know when we get there. I should probably have taken notes, but also on size 1. Since it's sport weight, I went size 1 on a 40-inch Chalku cable. Is this the... I think it is. That's odd. Oh, I guess it's not so odd. But it's on my Chalku interchangeable twists, which I didn't know it was. But I just surprised myself. And I keep DPNs of the same size in the bag along the way. And he loves Batman, so we're in a Batman bag. I need to hurry up and get these out of there so I'll be ready for Halloween. I love this bag. My friend made it for me. Boop. I also got these. I'm going to start making my stitch markers and progress keepers for Halloween. So I started planning my colors because I always dye yarn to sell at Halloween and some at Christmas. The rest of the year, fly by the seat of my pants, but I love colors at Christmas and Halloween, so I like to send a little something with them. Isn't that cute? I'll save the sparkly one for me because selfish knitting. And I grabbed that at Michael's. They had 70% off, and I just went to town. All the green. You know how they have different prices for the different color background? The green was 70% off, so it was like practically free. It was amazing. I went to town. It was awesome. So, I was at Hobby Lobby. Beginning of all good stories, right? And I found this. I'm thinking I'm going to do an ugly Christmas sweater. I love this yarn, Sparkle in Christmas, by the way. 2 balls of it, they only had 1 left. And I have rationalizations here. First off, I'm going to make an ugly Christmas tank top sweater. It's going to be the Coachella pattern, so it's kind of a cowl neck. And I had to have this because look how the colors fade. See how the color turns light green and there's some pink in there and a little bit of black. I need to see how that works up. I don't know why. I just need to see how it works up. I saw it and I was just like, oh, it's magical. It does not take much to impress me. The strangest things strike me, I swear. But I needed to see it, and it's glittery. And I just think it's hilarious. It just, you know, when inspiration strikes you and it only costs $3, you should take that inspiration. Because cheap inspiration is awesome. So I will be casting on my ugly Christmas sweater very, very soon. I also need to cast on that one I showed you guys for my son, the wonderful wallaby. And I showed that to him. This is for my freshly 8-year-old. And I had the yarns picked out. He loves fluorescence. So this is leftovers from his recent hats. That's how we roll. Look, I'm completely faded out in the background of these. Look at that. This is Encore, by the way. 25% wool and 75% acrylic, and it's strong and amazing for kids. Totally washable, but really warm. I like it. So these were the leftovers. We used a lot of green for hats. We made him gloves and a hat out of this, and it was huge, and we still have that much. So I'm thinking, instead of doing a fade like everybody else is doing a fade by the lines, I'm gonna pixelate my fade because he likes Minecraft. I think it'll look cool. So I'm gonna kind of pixelate, like the pixel sweater, my fade, but I'm just gonna wing it. And I showed him the navy blue that I got 3 balls of Encore, and he said, not so much. I'm like, okay, all right. And then I was thinking, gray, right? Gray. So I only got 1 of these because I'm not sure if I'm going to start at the bottom. The wallaby starts at the bottom. And I'm going to knit through this, make the pocket, start pixelating the chest. I'm not going to go back and forth between the colors. I'm just going to pixelate from this to this to this, probably the other way around. So probably bottom, middle, top. And then when I get to the bottom, to the top of it, I'm going to choose whether, well, I'll probably take the whole thing down to the yarn store and decide if I want lighter, darker, or medium. But Barocco Vintage, like most Baroccos, it's got a number. This is 5107. If I look it up on the internet, it'll tell me the actual name of it. I think it was called Storm. I forget. I already Googled it once, but I forget. But this is color 5107, and it's made out of 52% acrylic, 40% wool, and 8% nylon, and it is worsted weight. It's a really fun heathered cool tone gray, and I think it's gonna look really cool with the fluorescence. Kind of tone him down just a little bit, but he wasn't into the blue. I have my whole bag ready. It's kind of overpacked. I went to my first knit get-together last Saturday, and unfortunately we had another one of those storms, so I showed up and all the rain kept everybody else away. So I was the only one that showed up for her knit get-together. But that just means I got to talk to the person working at the store more, did a little bit more shopping, and I sat myself down after we talked for a bit, and I knitted. And about 7 people or groups of people came in, and I chatted a bit with them. Everybody was so nice. And one woman was on her way to Scotland last week to do her first marathon and shop for yarn. I'm not a jealous person, but how awesome does that sound? She's going with a group of knitters. Where are groups of knitters? I don't have groups of knitters. Here are my people. Let's go to Scotland. Okay? Okay? Alright. like I said, I have a little bag inside my bag. This is holding my doodads, all of my markers, my scissors, my longer needles. I'm using Pokemon stitch markers. My goodness, I am falling apart. What is this about? Why do I have two sets of needles in here? Oh, I remember. I was going to start it up, and I need it on 24 inches. The whole thing takes place on 24 inches except for the sleeves if you don't want them to. And I wasn't sure which one I was going to like with the Barocco Vintage, so I grabbed metal and wood just so I could change if I need to. I forget which one I liked last time, but last time I made it on acrylic, so it'll be different anyway. And these are Pokemon stitch markers that someone made me in a swap. Aren't they awesome? So I think it's perfect because he loves Pokemon. Here's my wonderful wallaby pattern, which I colored myself and added washi tape because fancy. And it says to have a crochet hook. So I have this one, which was terrible, from Daiso, but it's fine for this. I mean, might do a couple stitches tops. And that is about it. Oh, just because I'm using my interchangeables, I have my little key. This comes with all of the interchangeables from Knit Picks. So that is in my bag. And that is all being housed with the yarn in my bag, which has all my blingy stuff. Isn't it pretty? So that is where I am with the sweater. It's ready to go on. I have my Christmas sweater ready to go on. I have his sweater ready to start. I can take the blue out now that I've shared with you guys because apparently blue isn't cool. I thought blue was cool. It's all good though. So I also got, we're done with the hose now. Sorry about that. We kind of ventured off into the starting projects, but I do have some in progress. I am still working diligently on my Amma Granny Square tank top, which is actually growing on me as it grows. And it's great car crochet. Am I showing you the right side? There we go. This is Wool Like from Hoops and Threads in purple. It's all acrylic. It's just wool like. And it's already starting to pill a little bit, and that's okay. I'm alright with that. This is on a G-hook. And it's being housed in my cute little garden bag from the Holland Handmade swap. Super cute. So I got my Ipsy bag, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Gudetama, but he's a lazy egg. And I got this and I just laughed. This was holding, I get Ipsy, which is about 5 little beauty products inside a cute bag. So the bag's different every month. Last month was the cute ice creams, and this time it is Gudetama. And I love it. Totally cute and yellow inside. I basically love this package because I always get a Notions pouch. But I love it. It's like $10 a month. It's so fun. And it comes in this shiny red packaging. So I looked at this, I laughed, I put it down, I looked at the makeup, yada yada yada, kept on with my evening, and then I picked it up later, a couple hours later, and I saw the back. Okay, brace yourselves, because this is Gudetama the lazy egg, right? And this is his tush. I almost died. I almost died. He has a tush. So I won the June knit crate from Knitting Expat. I was so excited. So came with this, which is cool. It kind of goes through all the things that she sent with it, which is awesome. You can download a Laura cowl or an Airy cowl. I'm sure one's knit, one's crochet. And T-side, 10% off T-side Broadstairs, which is cool. So, but I opened it up and so excited because it came with, excuse my crinkle, this. Look how cute he is. He's a little alpaca. And now I will always know what size my needles are. I usually like to throw one of these in my knit project bags because a lot of times I use more than one size needle. And you want to make sure you have the right one. And then inside this cute little taffeta bag, but it's a key ring. And that's adorable. I'm not sure what I'll do with it. It's so cute. And yarn, which happens to be my favorite fiber, alpaca. This is Serena by Manos del Uruguay. It's baby alpaca Pima cotton, great for summertime. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but isn't that cool? It's so soft. So thank you so much, Mina. Her name's Mina. She's over at the Knitting Expat. You guys have probably seen her. She's awesome and has this adorable baby. It's Layla, or as she calls her, the Nugget. She is adorable. And let's see. I've had that set aside too because I wanted to share it with you guys. And last but not least is my final work in progress. I saved it for last. I know I'm going out of order, but I was pretty happy with myself. Last time I shared this, which is housed in my Mother of Unicorns bag, I had basically gotten to the point where I'd made the lapel and I had connected under the armpits. And I had inches and inches and inches and inches of straight back and forth knitting, and then a little shaping at the bottom, so quite a few inches to go, basically from my armpits all the way down to my hips. And in the matter of about, I think, 3 days, I did it. This is my rainbow unicorn sweater, and it's in garter stitch, so it's one of those stretchy things, so it sinks back up. With blocking, it will probably get about 5 inches. My last one did. My last one's right here. Where's my red one? This one's made out of Knit Pick Stroll on a size larger needle, so I made this one on 8s. This pattern is called Alto Stratus by Lisa Mooch. And on this one I made the sleeves shorter also. Back then, this was probably the second pattern. Oh, please excuse me. I definitely got some wool in the face. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. But back then I was twisting my pearls, so I have this decorative element on my sleeves. This sweater probably will not have this decorative element because I'm no longer twisting my pearl stitches. But yeah, it was my second project ever, right after my socks, my colorwork socks that I made in alpaca. And that's the best part of just endeavoring on big projects. When you first learn something, it's all memories. I look at this and I just think back to how bold I was to make a sweater as my second project ever. And yeah, these stitches are twisted. This is the only place it's twisted because the rest of it is just knit stitch back and forth. And then I also did not know how to do a stretchy bind off. This time the bind off will be stretchy. And I don't know if I mentioned this. This is Knit Pick Stroll Tonal in Gypsy, which they no longer sell. They have a new red. But my friend Joelle bought me the pattern and the yarn and sent it to me, and I love it very much. And this time I am using this, which is MCN, so it's merino cashmere nylon, and I got through the entire body, which is awesome. The sleeves are on cotton strands, and now I just need to knit. See how it's super stretchy? If I can use a stitch with enough stretch and bind off with enough stretch, the whole thing just stays really smushy and stretchy and won't be as tightly bound off as that one. I do still have some of that yarn. I should just redo it because I think it'd be really awesome. But it's so cool. I love the cashmere in it. It's so soft, and it is, the colorway is Carousel. It's a dream in color, smooshy with cashmere, and it has, I changed yarn balls. I have 3 balls that I'm working with, and I changed yarn balls every 4 rows, which is a total pain in the butt, but completely worth it because there's no pooling. And there would have been. They're very different tones, at least as far as I can tell from the outside of the ball. Where's number 3? Number 3, okay, nope. Here it is. This is what I have left, which is quite a bit, and I'm going to have quite a bit left. I'll probably have over a ball's worth left since I'm doing I'm doing 1 size smaller on 1 size smaller needles. So that's going to be less yarn. I made it a tiny bit longer, but not much. And I'll be doing sleeves that are not very long. I'll take it almost all the way to my elbow. And I'll be doing twice as wide of a lapel. Not sure, button band, lapel, whatever you want to call that. But I'm going to go 10 rows wide. This one was like 6, maybe 5. I was eager to wear it. Can you blame me? I'm a very impatient person. But I love this sweater. And it's abused. I wear it all the time. It's so great for just throwing on over a tank top because people say that wool is too warm, but it's not. If it's warm out, it's very wicking and very light, especially something that's made in fingering weight yarn on a large needle. It's just nice. And it smooshes up into a ball, can go right into my purse. So I have made the body. All I have left is the button band and the sleeves. And I have a dream of having this done next week before I talk to you guys again. I hope I can do it because I'm so excited. I'm using Nova Platina size 7 needles, and I have my scissors in there. Aren't they cute? But I have a 60-inch cable for that lapel that I need to put on my needles. And that is my last share. Thank you guys so much for sitting through that with me. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to throw them down below or send me something on Instagram. I'm pretty active on Instagram. The last couple days have been lost to the world, honestly. But I love hearing from you guys. I love following back and seeing what you guys are up to and what you've been making. I've seen some really gorgeous hats this last week. Everybody started hat season. I think we've all gotten past the socks for a minute. A lot of socks, and then all of a sudden hats start cropping up. Before you know it, we will be making cowls and sweaters because fall will be here and pumpkin spice latte will be in the air. But I'm really enjoying summer. The vast majority of the time, right now I'm looking out and it is overcast. I had to put my hair up. I had to go back in to the shower and dunk my head because these curls are unmanageable. They just get bigger and bigger. It's just, but it is what it is. And we just got this massive thunderstorm. It was sunny and bright yesterday all day long, and then these storms come out of nowhere. Is that normal? Do you guys experience that where you are too? I was raised in California. It's pretty much the same temperature all the time. This is all news to me. But one thing's for sure, I don't have to water today. So thank you guys for joining me. I will see you next week. Questions or comments down below, and please follow me on my social media and like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Have a great day. Bye.